What is up, guys? Welcome to Serial Nation. And today, for you guys, I thought I'd come up with something a little bit different since it's, already almost Halloween and all. Um, for this video, what I'm basically gonna do is describe seven, personal or people that I know, like horror stories or creepy stuff that's happened to them, sort of like supernatural in a sense or in a way. So yeah, this is something I kind of came up with today. Um it might not be it's gonna be pretty rough, to be honest. I'm just gonna be doing this while describing the stuff that's happened to me and to other people that I know. Um so yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. So for my first story, I'm gonna take you back to when I was younger. I'll say about maybe 2007 or 8. What happened was that I uh I lived in a dual apartment complex in New York City, and what happened was it was just me one day. I was minding my own business, just doing my own thing, probably like watching some SpongeBob downstairs. I don't know. But yeah, I remember that what happened was I was uh I was watching TV. I remembered I was downstairs, and all of a sudden I heard a huge crash downstairs, and I did not know what it was. Or no, not downstairs, I mean upstairs. Yeah, it was upstairs. And I didn't know what this crash was, this noise. So I went to go investigate, and it turns out the noise came from the library. We had a room dedicated to books that my family owned, a whole collection of books in the library room. But yeah, I heard a huge crash, so I waited for my mom to get home, and once she got home, I told her, and this is kind of the creepy part right here. What happened was she unlocked the door, and when she opened it, all the books have fallen, but the actual cases themselves still stayed intact. So not sure how that happened. I mean, all the windows were locked and closed, and the door was locked itself. So how the books actually fell, I have no idea. But yeah, to this day, that still puzzles me on how these books have fallen. But yeah, moving on to my second story, my second personal experience. Um, Again, this is what it was. It was when I was young, and with this right here, this could have actually have been, not even real. Like this actually couldn't have happened. Now that I think about it, maybe it was just my imagination. I mean, I was young, so it's possible that I just came up with this in my head. I was really, imaginative kid, but I don't know, it kind of felt a little too real for it to be just me, thinking this up in my head. I mean, I'm not like sadistic or anything. I'm not like to the point to where, I could have came up with this in my head. But what happened was I remember this pretty clearly to this day, but I was eating some Clifford cookies, some Clifford graham crackers, and what happened was I was eating the crackers, right? And I looked up and I remember when I ate the graham crackers, I looked up and I saw this huge insect, but it wasn't like the weird thing about it was that it had a size to where I couldn't even imagine it being real, you know. It wasn't the size, it wasn't normal, is what I'm saying. Like, the size of that insect, it's something that doesn't really seem like it would happen in real life, to the point to where it had to be like, you know, some kind of supernatural occurrence. And with this, you know, insect, it was humongous, man. It was a freaking, like, oh my gosh, dude. It was the size of a freaking, I don't even know how to describe the size. It was the size of a, let's just say a gigantic, the size of a textbook, but like 10 times more. I'll just say that. I don't know. It's hard to describe it. But what happened was, you know, I was freaking, when I saw this, I panicked, dude. I freaked out. And I remember during this time to where I saw this, my stepbrother stayed over, and so when I told him about it, he went to go check it out. I remember this was in the kitchen, and when he went to go check it out, it was gone. It's like it wasn't even there, man. Like, did I imagine it? To this day, I don't know. I could have imagined it. I mean, it's possible. I was a little kid. I had a vivid imagination, but I don't know. Who knows? All right, and let me see here. All right, for my third story. Now, this is where things get interesting. This is where it's to the point to where, you know, it starts to get real. It starts to get heated. The stuff that I explained before, man, that wasn't even like, that's nothing compared to what I'm about to tell you right now, man. So buckle your buckle your seatbelts, and you know, just sit down and make yourself comfy, cause I'm gonna tell you about this is probably like the worst experience I've had with this kind of stuff. But what happened was I was staying over at a family friend's house in Massachusetts, and what happened was I freaking I remember I slept in one of his family room, guest room, sort of, you know. But the thing is, the thing that was different about this was that, like, I don't know, it's so hard to explain, man. Alright, I'm gonna do the best I can to explain this. What happened was, I remember one day I was sleeping. Basically, I was sleeping with my brother in the same room, and yeah, we shared a bed. I remember I was like probably maybe 7 years old. I don't remember, but what happened was during the night. I remembered, like, during the night, the front door to where I was sleeping, it opened, and within that door, I saw a shadowy figure. But the thing that really, you know, bothered me about this was that this isn't, it's not to the point to where it could have been, you know, someone in the house, because I'll explain in a few. But what makes this different from how it couldn't have been in the house was that, I mean, like, how it could have been a person. Man, I'm probably gonna have to edit this. I'm so sorry, dude. But how it couldn't have been a person, because through this figure, it had white eyes. It was like, it looked sort of like the Heartless from Kingdom Hearts. That's how I could describe it. It was like a black figure, and it had white eyes, and it was like, it stared over me, and I had to like make no eye contact. I pretended that I was asleep. I remembered, and I remember like I had to pretend I was asleep so it didn't make eye contact or become suspicious of my movement. But what happened was I remembered like how vivid this thing looked like, and basically I asked my family friend member the next day to where you know, was it you that visited the room? And he was like, no, I was fast asleep. I don't remember. You know, I never went to that room. So that's the thing that bothered me, that it couldn't have been him. Like, if it wasn't, then who was it, you know? And just the fact that it looked so freaking different from an actual person. But yeah, moving on from that, those are all my personal stories. I have another one that's a really short one that I might as well just say, but it's like me basically it's me, and I went to sleep one day and I had like, you know, I'm pretty sure everyone's had this at least once in their life, or if you haven't had it, you're probably going to at one point. But I had sleep paralysis, and I woke up and I couldn't move my body. But what I saw in the corner of my eyes really, you know, shocked me, really spooked me. Um, what I saw like similar to the figure in Massachusetts, so where I stayed in my dad's friend's house. It was you know, like a similar figure, but it looked a little bit different. And I saw it was like in the corner of my eye, and I don't know if I was lucid dreaming or if it was actually there, but I was freaking out, like I was panicking because I couldn't actually move, so I couldn't do anything about it, you know? And you know, that freaked me out. Like that really freaked me out because I was like panicking like crazy, dude. I mean, eventually, you know, I went back to sleep and nothing happened, but man, oh man, dude. If you ever like, I don't know, it's weird. It's really weird. But yeah, those are all my stories, and then I'll say like I'll talk about two stories from some people that I know that are close to me, and then I'll talk about like one last story that some of you may know because it's an actual you know, real folk story that happened. All right, so the first story is you know, I'm probably not gonna say much about these characters because I don't want to like, you know, talk about the person behind, you know, sort of to where it's like the person has to be you know, private. So I'll just like not say who the person is. But for the first story, there was this lady, and you know, she visited um, you know, a close person of mine's house, like a close person that I know, like their house, and she wanted to use the bathroom. So what happened was she used the bathroom, and she saw what she saw was like really, you know, supernatural to her. She like freaked out because she saw like sort of, I'm not gonna say it's like The Grudge, but it's pretty similar to where it's like a girl, and like, you know, her face is like covered with the hair and stuff, and she was like, ah, like, you know, the freak, like the freaking the movie. But but yeah, like it was like that, and she like freaked out, you know, when she saw that. She was like, oh my gosh, she was like, oh my. But you know how it is. But when she saw that, like, she told the person, and when the person went to the bathroom, the figure wasn't there anymore. So with these, like, what I'm starting to notice with these stories, and I'm like saying, is that you don't know if you have actually seen it because you don't have evidence that the person wasn't there with you, you know. So it could have been your imagination, or it could have been real. but it's just that it seems too vivid to be your imagination, you know, unless you have a really good imagination. But yeah, that's the first story, and then there's another one to where, you know, another good person that I know, a close friend of mine. One time she was walking home, and she heard footsteps behind her while she was passing a cemetery graveyard, and yeah, she heard footsteps, and what happened was there was no one there, and every time she looked back and started walking, the footsteps seemed to get faster and faster to the point to where it was like running after her, and what happened was eventually, you know, she made it home. When she made it home, um, she got really sick. So I found that pretty interesting with what happened, you know, with the footsteps running and stuff. But that's, you know, that's pretty creepy, man. I'm not gonna lie. If I was like walking home on a Saturday night and the freaking footsteps behind me, I would sprint like Usain Bolt, man. Have them chicken like have a Usain Bolt's favorite meal in his arms. But yeah, and then that's basically the majority of the stories I wanted to talk about. One last story I have. Um, it's not anything like it's not from anyone that I know, but it's a story that I've been told so many times that I just had to include it. But basically, this story is this guy. He went to a party. He wanted to, you know, he wanted to get some, if you know what I mean. But he went to this party, and what happened was, um, you know, he was just partying. He was just doing his thing. He was enjoying stuff, and what happened was he met this girl, and like the girl, like he was like in love with her, and she meant everything to him. Oh, there's still Tina pizza rolls though. Yeah, but anything back to the story. Uh, like anyways, so what happened was, with the girl, like he was, you know, he really felt like she was the one, but when he was gonna, you know, make the move and you know try to lock on to them lips, she was like, I can't do it. Would you mind taking me home? And the guy was like, oh, this must mean score, so I'll take her home. But what happened was when he took her home, it was in the she lived in the graveyard, and she said like, oh, can you leave me, you know, leave me in the freaking graveyard. He was like, oh, you live here? She was like, yeah, just leave me over here. And this is a really creepy part of the story that always gets me ever since I've been told like the first time. But the next day he decided to go over there and pay her a visit, and he asked like the maid or the housekeeper of the house, oh, where was she? And he said the name of the lady. And here we go. This is the creepy part. She said like that lady died like 40 years ago. So the lady that the guy was actually, you know, trying to make a move on was actually the spirit or the ghost of the woman. So dang. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Dude, I was getting spooks like saying this myself, actually talking about these stories. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You know, I just wanted to upload something for Halloween. I kind of wanted to do a countdown video saying like my top 5 favorite movies or Halloween specials, but I really didn't have enough time. I didn't like on my hands for this weekend. But I wanted to upload at least something for you guys, so here it is. I hope you guys enjoyed. You know, give this thumbs up if you enjoyed, and yeah, I hope you guys have a happy Halloween, whatever you're doing, whether it's just staying at home watching movies or eating candy, getting lit at a party, or simply just going trick-or-treating because hey, you're never too old. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I appreciate the support. I'll see you guys on my next one, alright? Peace.